Master Alex Nathaniel Davidson. Master Asher Yishai Kowalski. Master Michael Abraham Josephson. Miss Sage August Alula McKinney. Roberts. Miss Victoria Lauren Leamoka Sepia. Miss Sarah Siegel. Master Svi Sudransky. I am pleased to introduce the Desertor Academy graduating class of 2016. Graduates, you may be seated.
It is an honor and privilege to be able to stand here as I lead you in tonight's graduation celebration. On behalf of my husband, Rabbi Shia Harlan, who had to be out of town tonight, I'd like to wish a hearty mazel tov to each of our graduates sitting here proudly on the stage. Tonight, we celebrate our 13th 8th grade graduation, bar mitzvah year of the year 5776. And with all of you 14 graduates, you completed 120 graduates who have graduated from Desert Torah Academy in Las Vegas. What a milestone for all of us sitting here. Let us all thank Hashem, God Almighty, for all of His gifts in helping us reach this milestone, and for the inspiration and continued blessings of the Chabad Lubavitcher Rebbe that we are fortunate to have on a daily basis. At this time, please welcome Chief Warrant Officer Dan Davidson, a parent of one of our graduates, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise. It gives me great pleasure to call upon Rabbi Levi Wilhelm, Director of Chabad of Southwest and teacher at Desert Torah Academy for the last few years, to share with us a Devar Torah.
Mazel tov, my favorite students, all the students. This is how they giggled in my class also. Let me tell you, about 3,328 years ago, today, the Jewish people were the first complete day at Mount Sinai. They reached here on Rosh Chodesh Sivan, the first day of Sivan. Today being Bay Sivan, was the first 24 hours that they were around the mountain. They finally reached their goal. They traveled from Egypt after many years of suffering, splitting of the sea, and they finally reached their destination. Graduating 8th grade, huh? And the Jewish people were right there together, about to receive the Torah. God turns to Moshe and asks him, who's going to be the guarantors to make sure that it continues? We're all excited. We finally made it there. How are we going to make sure the next generation continues to go there and take it, go in its ways? Moshe, his first answer says, the rabbis. The rabbis will make sure that all the children of Israel, young, old, will go in its ways. Hashem, God, says to Moshe, rabbis, they're good, but as for the guarantors, Moshe says, the elders, the Zaydis, they're the ones that give us the pinch, making sure that we're always having our chocolate bars, or not such sweet stuff, making sure we're happy, we're excited. And again Hashem says, God says, Zaydis are good, but not for the guarantors. people continue to go in its way, it's not the rabbis, it's not the Zaydis, it's not the bubbies, it's not the moms and the dads, it's the children. If we want to make sure that it continues, we need the children to be excited about it, the children to go in its ways. Like this, the next generation will have it. And then the next generation will have it. Children to children to children. So we're turning right now to the graduating class of 8th grade, 2016, Desert Torah Academy. Happens to be right before Shavuos, right before this year's giving of the Torah. And we want to know right now, you are our guarantors. We're not your guarantors. So we want to wish you a mazel tov, that it's not only a blessing that you reach this milestone, but it's actually for us. We are happy because we see, and we're 100% sure if we can say that by you guys going, you are going to make sure that it's going to continue what we all worked for till now, and now you're going to lead the way for us. Mazel tov and mazel tov. All the best.
Thank you, Rabbi, for your inspiring message. Thank you also for all the beautiful teachings, stories, and lessons you have given over to our boys in this graduating class and the students in the past few years. They have learned a lot from you, and I'm sure it will impact them in the future years. Mr. Alan Stock works as a radio talk show host on KXNT 840 AM. He's a friend of Rabbi Harling and Chabad, and a strong advocate for Israel and the Jewish people. Please give your full attention as we hear from Mr. Alan Stock.
First of all, I want to congratulate you on this milestone you've reached in your lives. A mazel tov to you and to your families. You are very fortunate and very blessed. You're fortunate that you have had the opportunity to have had one of the finest educations because you've attended one of the finest schools. One of the most important things you can learn in the K through 8th grade is how to learn. Learning to learn is something that will serve you well for the rest of your lives. How to focus, how to pay attention to the most important points that you study. This will serve you well and help you become successful in whatever you choose to do in your lives. While you've been fortunate to attend the Desert Torah Academy, we know as Jews that it's all B'Sher. It's all as Hashem has meant it to be. And that brings us to the point that you are very blessed. You are very blessed to be Jews. You'll find that as an asset in your lives, and you'll find that it will present challenges to you. As a matter of fact, you will face many challenges in your lives just being Jewish. But when you find yourselves facing some of the more difficult challenges in your lives, you should always remember that you have your family, your community, and your faith in Hashem to help guide you in the direction that will most benefit you. Let me say this to you. When you are older, you will look back on this time as one of the most important times in your lives. It's at this time you will choose for yourselves just who you are, who you want to be, and where you want to go. If you haven't decided at this point in your lives what it is you want to do, what you want to dedicate your lives to, that's okay. Because it's during the next few years that you'll be able to explore and decide what it is you want to do. You have many, many choices to choose from, many more than I ever had at your age. And I'm so happy for you that you have so many choices in your life. But there's something I'd like to leave you with. By this point in your lives, you have found that there are many different kinds of people in the world. Some very nice, others not so nice. You'll never be able to change everyone in the world. The best thing that I can leave you with is that I encourage you to approach life and the people in your lives with respect. When you meet people, be respectful. If they're respectful back to you, you have found another friend in your life. If they're not respectful to you, you know that you can look yourself in the mirror and live with yourself knowing that you made the initial effort to show that respect. If you approach life with respect and gratitude, and with the belief that the glass is half full and not half empty, and with the knowledge that you can always turn to your family, your community, and Hashem, you'll be happier in your private lives and more successful in your ventures. To you, to your parents, your families, your teachers, and your entire community, a heartfelt mazel tov. Have a great future and make us all proud.
Not fair, I have to follow a professional radio host. Principals always trying to do valedictorian, just saying a very short word. But I think in any school, the principal has certainly some connection to the students, especially in the graduating class. But in a smaller school, a school like Desert Torah Academy, that certainly is the case. And in our school, especially so. Now, you might have noticed, some of you might have noticed, that a number of the teachers are wearing a special t-shirt about surviving the 8th grade. And I have to admit, this is a wonderful group of young people, but at times they were challenging. And when things are challenging, the principal gets to do all that stuff. So first of all, I want to thank the 8th grade for making sure that I did not have one boring day this school year. But on a serious note, you all know all the trips we did together, all the activities we did together, the fact that I taught all of you this year, I taught just about all of you. So we had, the connection is very much stronger than just would be for a regular principal in a big public school or something like that. So first of all, my mazel tov to all of you is really meant and really from the depths of my heart. Also, I'm so excited that the large majority of our students are going on to another school that will provide an intensive Jewish education. That's our goal, and we've reached it with most of the students, and that's a very special thing. And wherever any of you go, I just want you to know that you represent us, you represent your family, not just yourselves. And therefore you have to strive your hardest to make us all proud. I'm about to introduce the valedictorian. And I've been Charlie's principal for well, 9 years, I guess, if you start from kindergarten. She was in school even before that, for 9 years. And I don't mean anything, don't take this wrong, but in 3rd grade, 4th grade, I probably wouldn't have thought that Charlie was going to be a valedictorian. She wasn't a bad kid, she wasn't a bad student. But one of the things that gives educators the most knowledge, the most pleasure, is to see a child grow into a young person, and to into a successful young person. And therefore, it's my honor to call up Charlie Brainer as the principal.
על 3 דברים העולם עומד, על התורה ועל העבודה ועל פנימיות חסדים. שמעון הצדיק, used to say that the world stands on three things: on Torah, on service to Hashem, and on acts of human kindness. We, as the Jewish people, have three major relationships in life. We have to learn to live with ourselves, with Hashem, and with others. Each of the pillars that Shimon HaTzadik mentions directly impacts these relationships. Torah, for example, is Hashem's instructions for living. It provides the understanding to help perfect our nature. It is the Jewish people's guide by which we learn what the world is about and what our obligations are. The second pillar, service to Hashem, is not for his benefit, but for ours. Through the physical actions of tefillah and mitzvot, we directly benefit our neshama for the world to come. The third and last pillar, chesed, is the commitment to performing acts of human kindness. Hashem created us and designed the world with the intention that the greatest good is to give to others. One that can master all three of these values is said to have reached human balance. I truly feel blessed to have been able to learn in an educational environment that challenged me to reach this balance. For the past 11 years, I have been given the tools to achieve a healthy relationship with myself, Hashem, and others around me. Now, as I gain more wisdom and knowledge with time, I am sure that with the tools I have gained from DTA, my family, and my friends, I, along with my classmates, will make a difference in this world and the world to come. I would like to thank my mother for understanding the importance of a Jewish education and sending me to an amazing Jewish school. Thank you for loving, caring for me, and helping me to try harder. I would also like to thank Mardina and Rabbi Robin for pushing and challenging me, and my siblings for being great role models for me. Thanks to my friends for always being there for me. I would like to thank all the teachers that have helped me come this far. Last but not least, thank you to Rabbi Siegel and Mara Gilly for driving me to school each day. Enjoy your evening and mazel tov. Thank you.
Beautiful. Shana Malka Roberts, or Shana as her friends know her, has many great qualities. She is a leader with a lot of determination. When she sets her mind up to do something, well, she makes sure it happens. I can relate to these kind of people. Shana, at the same time, has a soft side to her, as she genuinely cares about her peers and her friends. Shana has worked very hard in her studies and has been an asset to our graduating 8th grade class. Please welcome our Judaic salutatorian, Ms. Shana Malka Roberts, to the stage.
Good evening, and thank you all for coming. On this occasion, when we are moving forward and going into the unknown, I'm reminded of the story of Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef's brothers sold him to a caravan of traders who were going down to Mitzrayim. The Medrash tells us that typically these caravans were tar caravans. Tar is very hot, dense, and a foul-smelling substance. But in the case of Yosef, he was sold to a caravan of spice traders. He was enveloped in the sweet smell and comfort of the spices. We learn from this Medrash that God is always with us. In good times and in bad times, He's always there. As we graduate Desert Torah Academy and start a new chapter somewhere else, there are going to be ups and downs. Lots of them, guys, I promise. Just always remember, whatever happens, God is there. You may not be able to see Him, touch Him, feel Him, but He's there. Some of us have been here for 11 years, some of us a little less. As we move on to new adventures, we must never forget who we are and where we came from. I would like to thank Mardina, Rabbi Rodman, and all my teachers for instilling the concept of Hashem's presence in my life. I would especially like to thank one of my teachers, Sean Goldblatt, for doing so much for us and the school. You're amazing. this what I want to be? Is this what I want to do? Make sure you stay true to yourself, evaluate your actions, and know in your heart that you're making good decisions. As we take the next big step, I ask all of you to remember who you are, remember where you came from, and remember, Hashem is always with you. Thank you. Good night.
Hello, welcome. Before I introduce our next salutatorian, I just want to say a few words about the graduating class. This is definitely a momentous night for the kids and for families. It is a bittersweet time in that leaving the comfort of what they know and the family that they've developed here is going to be difficult, yet the excitement of going out there on their own and conquering the world in a new way is very exciting. So it's definitely a bittersweet time. It is full of hope and full of promise, and they are very excited, even though some of them are feeling a little like leaving the nest is a difficult thing. So I want to wish you all the mazel in the world. Class, go out there and move mountains, because you can. So now I am really excited to introduce our next salutatorian. As the secular principal, I get to observe a lot of classes and what happens in classrooms. This young lady has achieved high standards in her secular studies. This definitely is an important criterion, yet more than that, she is someone who is a leader, someone who knew how to be a strong peer model without sacrificing her own work, and someone who is a thinker and a problem solver. I know this young lady is going places. It is my great pleasure to introduce Chaya Bushka Atal.
Let me share with you a parable about a tree with branches and leaves. The leaves on the branches move a little with the gentle wind and provide a beautiful picture and shade below. Upon closer regard, we see there are some leaves on the ground. These leaves have nothing hampering their movements. They dance and twirl to the wind in every direction, seemingly totally free of anything tying them down. At a first glance, these leaves seem totally free and happy, and the leaves attached to the branches are so much more restricted. But we know that very soon, the carefree trees will turn brown and become crinkly, losing their moisture, and will be stepped upon by people, rendering them into small pieces, totally destroying them. On the other hand, the leaves that stay on the branches are green and fresh and continue to grow and expand. And even though their movements are somewhat restrained, they are healthy and will strive and flourish. The holiday of Shavuot is approaching, and this momentous time is when we receive the gift of the Torah from Hashem. At first glance, we can look at the 613 commandments that we have been given and regard it as a constraint to our freedom. How can we fully be free with all these laws and details hampering us in every area of our life? We look around us and see other people who seemingly seem to be so free without anything in their way. They can do whatever they please, whenever they want. Is this true freedom that we aspire to? Now we can take the above analogy of the tree. True freedom does not mean to do what we like at any given time. In fact, this is called enslavement. When we have no boundaries or guidelines, we have no freedom. We are enslaved to our desires and our materialistic lifestyles. Phones, Instagram, Snapchat are just a few examples where we can waste huge amounts of time. We are not free. We don't control them. They control us. With the Torah, with the guidelines and rules in place, it provides us with real freedom. The freedom to practice Torah and mitzvahs, good deeds, and Torah study within a framework. The freedom to have control over ourselves and to work on every aspect of our being. and the ability to be in control of our impulses and emotions. We are like the leaf that is attached to the branch, that can move with the wind, but the wind does not control the leaf. It's the leaf that moderates its own movement. Unlike the leaves on the ground that are that are at total mercy of the wind, who have no control at all. We are the lucky nation that Hashem chose to inherit and pass down His ultimate treasure, the Torah, and we have the privilege of following the commandments that He gave us. As I graduate today, I proudly look around me and see all my teachers, my principals, Ms. Fendel and Rabbi Rodman, Maradina, my family, and my parents, who have taken this path with me from nursery until now, who have shown me and taught me the Torah and all the guidelines, and have steered me in the right direction to be the person I am today. I have a lot to be thankful of right now, but maybe the thing that I am most grateful for is the education received from my school, and the education that I received at home, leading me, showing me the right path to follow. To follow the teachings of the Torah and the teachings of the Lubavitcher Rebbe, how lucky am I to be privileged to receive this all. This graduation is just the beginning for me. I look forward to attending B'nai Menachem High School in New York. I know I will make my parents, the Rebbe, and Hashem proud of me and carry on the sacred tradition handed down to me. I would like to finish off by thanking all my teachers, Dr. Royer, Mrs. Gords, Mrs. Hodler, and Sean Goldblatt for showing me the right path. My principals, Rabbi Rodman and Mrs. Fendel, Maradina and Rabbi Harlig, and I would also like to thank my father for his support and always making me laugh and showing me the lighter side of life and not to take myself too seriously. And my mother for her understanding, and DMC, which if you didn't know is Deep Meaningful Conversation, where I do most of the talking and she does most of the listening. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, and of course the Kadosh Baruch Hu. Thank you all for being here tonight and enjoy the rest of the evening.
As a token of our appreciation to Martina and Rabbi Rodman, I would like to present them this. Thank you for everything.
So I'm thinking at home, once they graduate, I'm going to get my first good night's sleep. Thanks. The way we pick the award winners is very simple. We take all the percentages of their grades for the year, and the winners are the winners. But sometimes it's really such a small difference between first, second, third, and so on. And as we did numbers, all the students did well, but there were 5 that were clearly leading the pack. And the difference between the top one and the bottom one of those 5 was like 1 or 2%. And we really felt, though, we can't have 5 speeches, that the 2 that did not win one of the official awards also deserves special recognition. So therefore, I would like, there won't be a speech, but I would like to call for outstanding effort and perfect attendance, which is the school, Ms. Sarah Kalsis. Outstanding academic achievement, not only in 8th grade, but throughout his career at Desert Torah Academy, Alex Davidson.
At this time, we will present the graduates with a bunch of goodies. Each graduate will receive his or her diploma, Judaic, secular, certificate of recognition from Governor Brian Sandoval, and congressional recognition from Congresswoman Dina Titus, and a gift from us to each graduate, a tehillim, inscribed to the name of the graduate. May you go from strength to strength in your learning of Torah and observance of mitzvahs that was instilled within you at Desert Torah Academy. Plus, 7 of the 14 graduates will be receiving the Made It Through Award, meaning they have been in DTA from kindergarten through 8th grade. I attended Desert Torah Academy, K through 8th grade, and it made a world of a difference. Sarah Joy Apelsi. Chaya Mushka Atal. Adam Bersodi. Shiley Zohar Brader. Geula Brownstein. Nissim Dana. Tano Alex Davidson.